With such a big expansion and revision as the WolfQuest Saga, it's inevitable that we'll find problems with the gameplay, with the arc of your wolf's life, with visuals, so there's always a couple problems that need to be solved. So today we're going to look at a few of those. So first, once you've played through a year or two in the saga, you'll have older offspring, yearlings and subordinates, so you can usually leave a couple of them back at the home site in the summertime as babysitters. But if they're not out hunting with you, how do they keep from starving? Now we could make them go off and find food on their own after you return from hunting, but that gets complicated in terms of the pack activity and sleep and stuff. So the simplest solution is just to do the same with them as with the pups and have the babysitters eat regurgitant. They will wait until the pups have had their fill before they come in and clean up. So that's nice and simple, but is that realistic? I found a paper by Dave Mech, world-renowned wolf biologist and one of the original WolfQuest advisors, which mentioned that other packmates do sometimes eat regurgitant as well. So nice, problem solved. Another problem is with dispersals. After a few years, your pack will have wolves of various ages, from pups of the year to yearlings to subordinates a couple years older. We have a lot of behavioral logic that determines when a pup will decide to disperse based on age and personality, size of the pack. You can see here there's a lot of variables, but it's really hard to fine-tune all of these variables because it takes many hours to play through year to year and see the results of any tweaks. So Raul, who created this whole persistent pack system, created a nice little simulation. I can load a save with a big pack and run the simulation ahead for 1 year and see who has dispersed. These specific dispersals are not locked in, they're all based on probabilities. So each time I run the simulation, different wolves will probably disperse, but the patterns are consistent. So I can adjust the odds of, say, yearling dispersal, run the sim again, see how much of a difference that tweak makes. Our goal is to have 5 to 9 adults, yearlings or older, in the pack, typically at any given time, plus the pups of the year. So this simulation is a tremendous help to let us tweak things to get close to that goal, which we can then refine further in playtesting. Okay, let's do one more. Wolf coats and aging. I've talked about this in the past. Wolf coats, like human hair, tends to get lighter and sometimes go white as the wolf gets old. We have a wide variety of coats in the game, and some of them are pretty darn white as they're based on old wolves. That's always been a bit odd, but it's really odd in the saga when a pup gets its adult coat in late summer and it's white. Doesn't really make sense. Someday we would love to implement a full-blown aging tinting effect, but that gets really complicated, not happening anytime soon. So for now, at the very least, we've created an alternate coat for the whitest of the coats. So in wolf customization, you can choose for your own wolf either the younger version or the older version. Just click to toggle back and forth between those. If you chose the younger version when your wolf turns 5 or so, come back here, change it to the older version, and they'll have that for the rest of the game. And your pups will get this younger version of these coats automatically. And all the NPC wolves will get younger versions as well. And they'll have those until they turn 5, then they'll get the older version. There are some other coats that are light but not really white, and those look pretty good when you tint them. So we've also applied that for pups and NPC wolves. They get a darker tint on that when they're younger, and it lightens up when they turn 5. So those are just a few of the problems among many problems and challenges and issues that we have been grappling with as we work on the saga. It's really coming along, and we don't have a release date, but it is coming sooner than later. Oh, and if you haven't written a review of the game on Steam, we're getting a little low on those, so we'd really appreciate getting a few more. Thanks.